Clay, we'll start off with the men first. You look to defend last year's PSAC championship. What do you have to do to make that happen?
One, just compete. That's the main goal. But I think we just need to run really well as a pack this year. We got to pack it up and compete well.
You've had a different season from the standpoint of not competing in as many races. Talk about that strategy.
I mean, over the course of a year in cross country, you're racing 8K and then you bump up to 10K for regionals and nationals. And predominantly we have a younger team. I mean, other than a couple juniors, it's a lot of freshmen and sophomores. And so racing them as non-often as possible, I think it allows me to have them train at a bigger block in order to prep them for a championship season.
Talk about training and how you adjust your training as you get to the postseason portion of your schedule now.
I keep my volume up pretty high throughout the entire season. I believe you should keep your fitness throughout kind of all year round, and you just slowly remove a couple of variables and increase some speed and efficiency work later in the year. But I mean, I keep our volume pretty high right now because it's still, I mean, conferences this week, but then a couple weeks later regionals, and a couple weeks later NCAAs. So we just got to be ready to compete come end of season.
How's the health of your team as you head into this second portion of the season?
There's always a couple of things, it feels like. When you have a group of kids that are all working so hard daily, that you're always having some little calf tightness or a little ache here or there. And so there are a couple kids that are a little banged up, but nothing that seems too serious at the moment.
Okay. Last year you took redshirt years off a couple runners and ended up winning the PSAC, thanks in part to them. Any surprises in store this year?
No surprises this year. I think just a young group of guys that, they redshirted last year, but they put in some work this summer, and I'd say it wouldn't be a surprise, but they're hungry.
Who are the teams you need to beat this year to repeat as a champion?
The men, Lock Haven's been looking really good. I mean, they have a really solid 1, 2, 3. And then Shippensburg, they're young. They're really young, but they have a great recruiting class, and Steve knows what he's doing, and so you can always expect them. They're always ready at the end of the season, but Lock Haven, they're a good team this year.
What do you know about the course at Bloomsburg?
I know it's a multi-loop course. You do it a handful of times, and there's one hill that you hit each time is the best of my knowledge. I've never been there before, though.
Okay. From what you hear, is it a course that'll be conducive to your team?
It's cross country. You got to be ready for anything. So I like to think I train them psychologically to be ready for that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay, we'll stop. That'll be the men's.